We had our very best run ever this morning here at the Worthington Diamond Recovery Plant. We're located just a short distance outside of the famous Crater of Diamonds State Park in southwest Arkansas. Here is an indication what a volume of material we ran. This is just the oversized rock. We ran 17 front end loads of that skid steer through this diamond recovery plant today, and look at some of the sizes of the cobbles in that. I mean, that's my hand. Look at that. Those are big, and you don't want to be here when those are rolling down the chute. They come pretty fast. Anyway, later this afternoon we'll jig it out. I've got to clean out the plant and see what all's in it. But you know, we did a volume. 17 front end loads is 8.5 tons. That's the most we've ever washed in 2 hours. It wasn't without some toll. We pretty well shredded that piece of hardware cloth that we had put in at the end of the scrubber. You can see some of it there hanging on. Some of it is here by the pieces of conglomerate from yesterday. There's more than a dozen of them there, but this just came out in chunks and in many smaller pieces as well, and that's all right. It was 3 foot by 10 foot, and I zip tied it in there, and it held up under a lot of stress from all the big heavy rocks rolling across it. If we were to ever decide to process gravel all the time, if we have good results from this, we'll have to get like stainless steel or something. But like I said, that's only 12 bucks, so it was worth it for this sample. So what I'm going to do now is clean out the jig. The material, this is our 1/8 inch material, between 1/8 and 1/4, that rolled down this side, and this is what's caught in here. And then the lighter material in this, as that was pulsing and jigging, it overflowed and went down here with the water, and it's over there now. It's tailing. So we have a bunch of washed gravel and sand, because the smaller material fell through the holes on this side and went down this chute and jigged through these 2 1-foot squares that is pulsating up and down all the time, so it catches all the heavies in here. And the light material washes over and mixes with this light material and goes down the pipe and to the settling pond. And then we're pumping water out of the settling pond back into our supply water pond now, so that reveals the pile of sand and gravel we went through. But another indication that we did a lot today is, as that wire mesh, the screen wire, the 1/2 inch hardware cloth began to wear out, we got more of this size rock coming down here rather than going to the oversized tailing chute, which is fine. We were ready to catch it. At this end we have a piece off of an old lawnmower that Mac had just laying around, and he said, oh, that'd be perfect. He just saw it sitting there. That would work perfect, and honestly it is. It's the right size diameter, it's the right length, and has the right slope. I just zip tied it up there, and the gravel goes in and then into a bucket. Well, then it goes into another bucket, another bucket. We started filling buckets. I had a whole trailer load of empty buckets, and I started filling them all. And when all the buckets got full, I started scattering the gravel out on the ground here. So this is that larger material that we washed this morning. I didn't have any gravel on the ground this morning, but when I changed the bucket, it would overflow and fall on the ground. So anyway, we got a lot of gravel, and it's kind of nice. It was muddy in here, and I like having the gravel. I'm gonna be spoiled now. I'm gonna put some of this in the driveway and other spots, and I've also got places I'll take the Mini X and dig this sandy gravel out and fill in some holes in ditches and driveways and other things. So there's lots of places you can put freshly washed sandy gravel. But for now, what we're really interested in is what these 4 screens caught. And also the other thing, besides the 1/16 inch and the 1/8 to 1/4 inch size material, we're also interested in what fell through the bottom of these screens as it pulsed. It drops down into these vats. And the vats, you'll see I have valves and pipes, and it runs over here. So these vats tend to fill up with sand as you're running. That's why we only run 2 hours at a time, because I have to stop and clean out the plant and get all the sand out of those vats. And as the sand and water comes down here, I pump the sand and water over there into these buckets. And let me show you kind of the swirling action of this. See how the water has a vortex in it? I have an angle on this pipe so that it'll swirl in there, and your heavies drop to the bottom and the light material will wash over the top and on down there. So anyway, then I take buckets and buckets of those heavies. Let me turn this off. So I take that sand size heavies and I jig it, not so much for the diamonds as the diamond indicator minerals. So there are more associated minerals with the diamonds than there are diamonds, and they will tell you whether you're in an area that has collected diamonds or not. So it indicates whether you would want to continue washing that material or not. So we will look for diamonds and diamond indicator minerals. We'll get this cleaned out, and if everything goes the way I plan, this evening I'll make another video showing what we found in this material. You just don't know how it'll all pan out. That's where that expression came from. We're gonna jig it through the Saruka and take a look at the heavies. So check back later in the day and you'll get an update from the Worthington Diamond Recovery Plant on our Wildcat diamond prospecting exploration of a different layer of gravel from yesterday's layer of gravel. Thanks for checking in with us.